Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new episode for the first time in a long ass time of the Review Expletives. We are back. I'm Geoff.
And I'm Ron. Ron, that's it. I'm Ron.
No, go back to step one. We fucked it up. We fucked it up. Remember, according to that one Dead Space, you're Geoff. And I don't know who the hell I am. We didn't get that far.
Oh, it's been so long, Geoff. Do I even know how to do this anymore?
Our last episode went up, of anything, October 13th.
Something like that?
We were closing in on 2 months. And I gotta tell you, we were recording so much that you'd think like it would just be like riding a bike.
Right.
But it feels kind of awkward, like I'm not back in the groove of it yet.
Yeah, no, it's not nearly as bad as like the first several episodes we ever did, but yeah, I get what you mean. It's a bit strange being in front of a microphone and a camera again. And
then as soon as we get a couple episodes back under our belt, we will be bitter and dreading all of our recordings all over again. So I look forward to that. But yeah, what we're going to do for this episode, we're going to do a little bit of our infamous lightning round for basically all of the biggest news articles while we were away, just over the last couple of months. My poor ass had to scour Collider. Do you have any idea how much geek news gets posted on Collider on a daily basis?
It's a lot.
I was scrolling for shit on Collider for like an hour just to find all of the shit that had happened. If it was Nerdist, I would have shot myself in the face, as I would have found out the same 3 articles over and over and over and over again. But yeah, let's get started, Ron. One of the biggies. We got our first trailer. I think there's only been one. It might have been 2, but as far as I know, Logan.
I think just one.
Just one?
Yeah. It was so epic, they didn't need a second.
How fucking badass is Logan looking, dude?
Dude. I have not been pumped for an X-Men movie in a long time, unless you include Deadpool. I cannot fucking wait for Logan.
It looks like a beautiful... Because like it's also not only the last Hugh Jackman performance, it's supposed to be the last Patrick Stewart performance, too.
Yes.
So there is a lot writing on this. I love the direction of it. I love the look. The look of it is really, really important because it looks more like Book of Eli than it does X-Men, which I approve of.
Yes, and one thing that I'm really looking forward to, as you are fond of saying, since it's rated R, the guy whose superpower is stabbing people with knives can finally stab people with knives.
You just said that. I need a moment. Okay, back to it. But yeah, can't fucking wait. I agree with you. The last X-Men movie that I was actually excited for was First Class, I think. Because I ended up liking Days of Future Past, but I was not excited for it at all because I thought their trailers were just dog shit for it. The movie actually ended up being pretty damn good.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it's been a long time. And
I haven't seen anything since First Class.
I swear to God, Fox, do not fuck this up. I will be so upset for Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart if they go out on like a want note.
The Wolverine origins.
I'm really hoping the Logan, even if it's half as good as that trailer.
Oh God, that trailer.
We should be good. Playing with Johnny Cash playing behind it with Hurt. Great music choice for it too.
Oh, I know, dude. Anything involving that song, immediately has my backing.
Yeah, I fucking adore that song too. And what's cool too, the villain is actually the main guy from Narcos, who's a pretty damn good actor too.
So I've been meaning to start that.
Good in it too. All right, another trailer that just blew us the fuck away. This one shocked us both, though.
Oh my God!
The second Kong Skull Island trailer.
Not what I expected in the least, in the best of ways.
It's like, so I forget which studio has it, but you know, like they had like the Peter Jackson one come out, right?
Yes.
That King Kong movie, and it was just like, you know what? Fuck that. Get the Dark Souls guy. We're gonna hire him. Let him design a whole lot of fucking crazy ass creatures that King Kong can fight. And good God, am I on board?
Oh my God! See, that first trailer, when we first saw that first teaser, all I could think was how much like Godzilla it seemed, and I figured that we would have Basically Godzilla all over again. I figured all the King Kong scenes were in that trailer because you actually got glimpses of him in that teaser.
Don't remind me of the Godzilla movie.
Oh, I know,
For the love
right?
of God.
Oh, God.
I pop blood vessels just thinking about that godforsaken movie.
Yeah, I know. And that trailer was just incredible.
I also really like, too, how it's a period piece for Vietnam. I wasn't aware of that going into it.
I was not aware of that either.
That's pretty cool. Obviously, the cast is great. I mean, John Goodman, Samuel L. Jackson, Tom Hiddleston.
Dude, the cast alone in it is just incredible.
Really, really good. Oh God, I'm blanking on her name. What's the name of the Brie Larson?
Yeah, I was hoping you wouldn't ask me hers because she was the one person I couldn't think of when I was watching it earlier. So Legendary Pictures is the one that has Godzilla and Kong. Okay. That's what I was comparing just now. Because isn't the next film supposed to be Godzilla versus King Kong? Which is a remake of a black and white movie?
If it's this director doing it, I'm on board because some of the action sequences of the creatures and stuff actually look pretty cool.
It doesn't matter who the fuck does it. Kong is going to win by default because Godzilla's not going to show up.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. And then there'll be a subplot of a guy riding Kong's shoulder that's just trying to get home.
I'm just shaking my head because that movie was... Okay, yeah, we could do a whole other podcast about Godzilla 2014.
Yes. We could do a whole rant tracks. Shameless plug.
Yeah. Shameless plug for something that is never
going to happen.
Never going to happen. But yeah, Kong Skull Island, good on you, because I never gave two shits about King Kong until now.
Dude, I'm more of a King Kong fan at this point than I am Godzilla, and I'm not the least bit ashamed to say it.
And now, can we have a... Honestly, instead of Kong versus Godzilla, what I want Pacific Rim versus all the shit on Skull Island, dude.
Right.
That would be fucking badass. But yeah, something else that really blew us away.
Before we move on, that is another trend that is getting interesting because Godzilla gave you the impression, and I do applaud their trailers for this, that the only monster in it was going to be Godzilla.
True.
And then you got not one, not two, but three monsters duking it out. Then the first Kong trailer, the teaser, did the same thing. Now this one, I don't know, for whatever reason, had to be something in their marketing team discovered or something. For whatever reason, this one showed you several monsters on the island. And I know that it's no secret that Skull Island's got a lot of crazy shit going on, but there was a lot more happening than I expected, because I expected, as most King Kong movies, him to be the only monster in it.
And yeah, I think the best thing going into this film probably was the Peter Jackson movie and its fallout and everyone not liking it.
Yeah.
Because they realized, hey, if we're ever going to use King Kong, we can't just do that same story again, and we can't just have King Kong, because that movie worked 60 years ago. It doesn't work now, you know.
And you know why I hated that movie?
Which, the Peter Jackson one?
Yeah, you know why I hated it? I had to screen it.
It was fucking boring.
I had to screen it at 3 in the fucking morning, and it threw.
I thought you were going to say you had to screen it at 3 o'clock in the morning, and then you fell asleep at 3:30 in the morning because it was just fucking boring.
Nope, I got until like the last 20 minutes, and it just threw. Like, great. My night just got longer. Yep.
Fucking goddamn. I love Peter Jackson too, but what were they thinking with that movie?
I don't know.
What was the script of that movie?
What did it have one?
Because it was just like it's like they had enough budget for the special effects and they had to fire the editor. It had no editing. It was just 2 hours and 45 minutes. Like an hour and a half of it on the boat before they even get to the island.
I was gonna say it was mostly just like Jack Black walking around in the jungle.
I don't get it.
I didn't get it either.
I don't get it.
Now
but next up,
something that you and I get that we want fucking now.
One of the best posters I have ever seen is the new Alien Covenant one, and it's so fucking simple, like you and I always say. But good God, is it awesome!
Oh my God, it's incredible.
Yeah, Google if you haven't seen it. All it is It's got their new premiere date, which I believe is next May, like May 19th or something like that. And it's just a xenomorph's face with "run" above it.
Yes.
And it is so awesome, and I want it on my wall really, really bad. Yeah, this is with Ridley Scott back. You and I actually liked Prometheus, the only two people on the planet.
The only people on the planet that liked Prometheus, and Ridley Scott, in my opinion, is one of the few legendary directors left that does not seem to have lost his goddamn mind.
I would agree with that.
So I am full on board. And honestly, I don't know what it is, because I mean, I'm sure Alien helped his career, but he already had something of a career before Alien, didn't he? So I don't know what it is about this franchise that seems to be his baby, but he thoroughly seems to enjoy working with Prometheus and Alien in general.
Well, my thing with Ridley Scott, and why I would say, I think I would probably say Ridley Scott is the best director of all time, purely based on the fact that the guy can do any genre.
Yes.
And they all within, okay, like, with Steven Spielberg obviously has a really prolific career, but when you're watching a Spielberg movie, you can always kind of feel like you're watching a Spielberg movie.
He has a specific formula. It's not a bad thing, because his movies are good. It's not necessarily always a bad thing, but it's kind of like certain bands. Like certain bands, every song sounds the same, even though they may be one of your favorite bands. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good comparison. But like Ridley Scott, they all kind of feel even regardless of the genres and like all the stuff that he's done, even with like sequels and stuff, they all have like their own flavor to it, which I appreciate.
Yes,
because like Blade Runner, and Alien are both hard sci-fi, and they're both by Ridley Scott, but they feel very, very different.
They feel very different. They do have some similarity. There's certain things that you watch it and you're like, oh, this was easily Ridley Scott, even if he came in the middle of it. Because he's a very cinematic guy. He likes those wide scenery shots and stuff like that, and he likes you to take in the world. He did a lot of that in The Martian, and I'm not complaining because it looked really beautiful. But like you said, if he's doing sci-fi, it feels like sci-fi. If he's doing drama, it does not feel like sci-fi. It's
and his tonal shifts are really, really great too. Because like look at Alien compared to The Martian.
Yes,
it's just like that. I really, really appreciate Ridley Scott, and I think Ridley Scott, even with how famous and how legendary he is, I think he's still kind of underrated.
Yeah,
because
I think he's a bit underrated. People tend to kind of forget he exists until a big movie comes out, and then next thing you hear is, "Oh my God, did you see the new Transformers trailer?" And like, "Fuck you, Michael Bay." That's all I had to say. But it's like people tend to forget he exists. He kind of disappears and comes back, and disappears and comes back. And I honestly think it's because he is as good as he is, if that makes any sense. People love to make fun of Michael Bay. People love to make fun of James Cameron. You know what I mean?
James
Cameron. Yeah, he hasn't lost his mind yet. And there's also the fact that, like you said, each one of his movies is its own unique flavor. So I think that kind of keeps him, I don't know, it keeps him out of the forefront because people like to make fun of Michael Bay and the explosions and stuff. And then he'll come out when he wins some big award or has some big movie, and then he kind of disappears until the next big award or big movie.
He makes consistently solid movies, and that isn't sexy.
Yes.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
His career is absolutely incredible. And he's one of my he may be my absolute favorite director. And
he's
like you said, I would agree with what you said, that he may be the best director of all time, at least of our time, if nothing else.
Yep, I would definitely agree with that. Let's see. Next up, some of this shit it still blows my mind. Han Solo, the spinoff, has been crushing it on every possible decision of what's going to be in front of the camera and behind it, and they're casting. First of all, let's start off. Donald Glover, going to be playing Lando.
Perfect.
Fucking money in the bank.
Perfect casting.
Holy shit! Like, you can't even put into words just how money that is.
And good old Donald Glover, man. He is just popping up everywhere.
Did you ever watch? I doubt you got a chance to, but did you watch any of Atlanta? His new show this year?
No, I did not.
I haven't gotten to finish it, but it's pretty cool. He's actually, I always just kind of looked at him as an actor. He's actually not only the creator of Atlanta, he writes some of the episodes. He's actually a writer too.
Really?
I wasn't familiar with him, but in that regard. But yeah, super talented. In some picks, and I think once they get him that fucking cloak of Lando's, like I think he's gonna really look the part too. I think they're gonna set it out where he really looks it.
Who was he in Spider-Man: Homecoming again?
I don't know if they've confirmed yet who he's gonna be playing.
It just says Spider-Man: Homecoming on IMDb, and it doesn't say who.
I would make him Miles Morales, but we'll have to wait and see on if they're gonna be doing that.
But yeah, the Martian and the Han Solo movie, Spider-Man.
He is such a scene stealer in The Martian, man. Every time he's on screen, it says gold.
And you know what's funny is, like, if you go back, wow. He was in a short in 2006 called Black Peter Pan. That's kind of funny, actually. But yeah, if you go back, like, he's in all kinds of stuff, you know?
Just usually bit roles, and now he's
just
actually
bit roles here and
stuff.
there.
Yeah.
I mean, regular show in space, wow. But yeah, I mean, he's coming up. He's just kind of exploding here recently, and he's good at what he does, so I'm okay with that.
And the other casting news, Khaleesi. What?
This is where I need to pipe in the Khaleesi music.
Emilia Clarke is the female lead of the Han Solo. That is a fucking world we live in, dude. Where goddamn Khaleesi's gonna be in the Han Solo movie. That's fucking genius, dude. I don't even give a shit what her. She could be a Wookiee, and I'm
dude,
like, I don't fucking care. I'm there.
As far as I'm concerned, you just titled the movie. It's the Han Solo movie, so just fucking call it Solo.
Solo. That's kind of a metal title if it's just Solo.
Yeah. Think about that, bro. Just let that sink in. But yeah, dude, we've got Khaleesi, we've got bro from The Martian that put stuff in Jeff Daniels' pockets. We've got, I want the Han Solo movie. I'm not even that big of a Star Wars guy. I like Star Wars, but I'm not into it like you are. I want the Han Solo movie, and I want the fucking card game scene.
Where he wins the Falcon?
That should be the end of the movie, as they're sitting down to play cards.
Or the after credits sequence is them going back, and they don't even talk. It's just them playing poker, and then it just cuts off.
Dude, what I want to see in this is Donald Glover is the owner of a shiny, brand new Millennium Falcon. And
then Han Solo and Chewie proceed to fuck it right the fuck up.
It's like the car in Tommy Boy.
Yeah.
It's like David Spade's Roadrunner.
Like you said, I'm the bigger Star Wars nut. I am more excited for this than anything else they have on the forefront. I'm more excited for this than I am Rogue One, Episode 8. This is the one just because of the cast, because of Lord Miller. Like, good God, just give it to me right now.
Yeah,
cannot
it's
freaking wait.
Everything to do with this movie is right.
Yeah.
Now, something I'm excited for.
I'm gonna let you talk about the next one. I don't even know what to say, honestly.
I still, anytime I look at this image, just lose my shit, dude. I have to change my pants every time I log into my own Twitter. Okay. This is something that I am very excited for, but for all the wrong reasons. The Power Rangers movie, which we have talked about frequently. Unleashed, inflicted upon humanity, and the new image of Alpha.
Now, okay, now to be fair, this is just concept. They haven't raped our childhoods yet. They have just conceptually raped our childhoods.
But who knows how far they may or may not already be before they release it, because that movie comes out in March. It's December.
If this was a video game, this shit would have been pushed back already. I don't know what the fuck is going on with this movie.
It's been pushed back, because the original date was February, so it already did get pushed back a month. But
They had
I
to
don't.
push it back a month because this was the first concept art for Alpha 5, and they were like, good God, fire whoever submitted this immediately.
I have taken to calling it Alpha and 4 3/4.
And I love you for it. That is what I always refer to it in our notes.
And I love you for that because I saw that earlier today. I had to change my pants yet again. Oh, dude. No, I don't even know what to say.
Oh, I can say something. I'm not even invested in this property anymore. And I'm insulted by it. It is so fucking bad. And what's even worse about it is, what was the one part of this goddamn movie that I was actually on board for?
Bill Hader.
Bill Hader as fucking Alpha 5. And if Bill Hader is voicing that monstrosity, I'm going to be even more pissed that they wasted that awesome casting. You can't even... If you haven't seen it, Google it. Because you can't put into words how awful the design is. It's just fucking
makes
stupid.
me wonder. It really makes me wonder if he is even going to resemble at all the Alpha we remember from the TV show.
Which is really weird because, like, when you hear the casting, like, Bill Hader really does seem to be able to fit that old type of character. Like, I don't get it. I don't get why you would go so far out of your way to change it.
Yeah, I don't know. And what is sad is I'm probably going to throw these images into the video on YouTube just to talk about it because, dude, there's even concept art, like fan art, that is 1,000 times better. Like, let me show you this one. I'm gonna send this to you through Skype, and I wanna hear your reaction recorded to this compared to Alpha 4 3/4. Because
why was it that? Like, I don't understand. I just don't understand. And you know what the real shitty thing about this is? Someone got paid to make Alpha 4 3/4.
Oh, I know.
Someone got paid bank to smear dog shit over a computer screen and submit it and got money.
And that's more or less what happened, yes.
Yeah.
But
Every time I see your Twitter, I die a little inside. I just want you to know that.
But dude, I get such a laugh out of it every time that I see it. Oh, I haven't seen the backside. I just found the backside of him.
I didn't even know they had. So they have another Alpha 4 3/4 picture? I thought they just had the one.
I thought they just had the one too in the original article that I saw, but there's the back of him.
Someone got paid twice to design the backside of the smeared dog shit.
Oh, dude.
No, the best part of the whole thing though was was it like IO9? Whatever website posted the headline with it, was like,
it was what?
Yeah, I forget what it was specifically, but they were like,
what in God's name did the Power Rangers movie do to Alpha?
Yeah, that is exactly it. That almost made it worth it.
The first thing I said, I was like, well, that's not biased at all. And then I scrolled down, and I was like, what in God's name did the Power Rangers movie do to Alpha?
See, you had a big... Because you and Philip are the big Power Rangers guys. You kind of like took it in the healthy way of like just kind of turning it into a big joke. I think Philip probably punched a wall when he first saw that.
Oh, dude, I kind of wish I was there when that image was released and he found it. Because Phil, our buddy Phil is not one to curse much or anything. I bet you he said every curse word plus some you've never heard of when he saw it.
I wouldn't doubt it. But yeah, while we're talking about smeared dog shit, let's talk about Flash Season 3, Ron.
Oh my God. What happened?
Oh boy, do I have words for this. Okay, now here's the funny backstory for this. Ron, you quit after Season 2. Like the smart person on this podcast did not. I continued to watch it, and then you came back on board for
Kevin Smith.
The Kevin Smith episode, just to watch
crossover.
Kevin Smith's. Because Kevin Smith's Season 2 episode was by far
the best.
the best part of the entire season.
Yes.
And then, what would be your grade of the Kevin Smith episode?
I think I would rather fuck Alpha 4 3/4 and watch it again. I think on a scale, I think it was on 0 to 10, 10 being worst, we're looking at like 5,000. Like, it was just awful. Like, you told me that it was probably still easily the best one of the season so far.
Yeah, that's where I was going with this.
And I could not wait for it to end. It was just so painful for me to get through. And I don't blame Kevin Smith. I'm not saying
it's
that.
purely the writer's room. You can't blame the actors either. The actors have been handed dog shit script after dog shit script, while the writer's room breaks down and ruins every single thing that used to be good about this show.
I started detecting this first in Arrow, especially with the character Felicity. Emily Bett Rickards doesn't hide it well, what she thinks of the script, if you pay close attention to her. And I've started noticing it in The Flash with Cisco and Barry, specifically Grant Gustin, and I always forget the Cisco actor's name.
Carlos Valdez or something like that,
I think so. Them specifically, not so much in their acting, but their facial expressions give them away. You can tell that they're not happy with the scripts either, but they're paid to do a job, you know.
Yeah, Carlos Valdez.
Yeah.
I think that's what I said.
So you can tell exactly what they think of the script also if you pay close attention to them.
Yeah, I don't want to go into like specific spoilers for it just in case, and we have so much to talk about already. But man, it's really like I'm at this point I'm hate watching it. Honestly, I'm still watching it.
My time these days is way too valuable for that. So this year I have started dropping shows left and right. If I feel that way, I just started dropping them.
And I'm with you, man, because like I did that with I stuck by Arrow, whatever the last season was. They've had so many goddamn seasons of Arrow, but I quit it once I started hate watching it.
Season 2 is the only season of Arrow, by the way.
I still like the first season, but I get your thoughts on it too. But like with Arrow, I quit once I started hate watching it, and I came back, and the new season of Arrow has actually been decent. It's the thing with Arrow is like you were talking about, like with the Flash, everyone seems to be hating their lives. Everyone in Arrow actually seems to be kind of enjoying themselves again, and it comes through in the show because it's actually a fun show again.
I'm not gonna wish for you to go back and rewatch any of the Flash, but watch the crossover. Pay attention to Grant Gustin, and I've already fucking forgot his name. Carlos Valdez. Carlos Valdez. Okay. Watch them in the crossover. Pick any crossover episode except the fucking Supergirl one. And 4-night crossover CW. Really?
Okay. The CW can blow me on that regard, but if you look, as far as the showrunners, they actually titled the Flash, Arrow, and Legends portions Invasion, and the Supergirl was its own thing. That was the CW's fault. I'm not going to blame the people all working on the shows for that, because the CW marketing it as a 4-day crossover were full of shit, because the Supergirl episode was a crossover for 35 seconds, if that.
Yes.
If that. It
was a brilliant 30 seconds. It was funny, but really? I wasted part of my life on that episode.
I want that on the Blu-ray cover of season 2 of Supergirl.
But watch any episodes of the actual crossover, and pay attention to Carlos Valdez. God, why can I not?
Can I just call him Cisco like everyone else ever will?
It's like someone has built a wall in my mind against him.
He might as well legally change his name to Cisco. He's never not going to be a Cisco.
I can think of Cisco Ramon a lot easier than I can think of Carlos Valdez. But him and Grant Gustin, pay attention to them. And then the next episode of Flash, of legit Flash, not a crossover episode, watch them. They're delivering their lines the same way with the same, gusto and everything that they should be, but their face does not match what they're saying or how they're acting.
Their
eyes are just kind of glossed over.
I could do an entire podcast about how the Flash has turned into. I actually put this on Collider while we were talking about him earlier. when finally too, most people seem to still be on board with this show, which blows my mind because it is clearly bad.
It's just bad.
And most people on, like, I get Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith's too close to actually, even if he didn't like it, he would still say he does. Dude wants to work on the show, and I don't blame him for that.
Right.
But, like, Collider, finally, I think Evan Goldberg, I wanted to say that was the Collider guy, who posted, like, why Flashpoint has been a bust. Like, finally, other people are starting to talk about how Flashpoint specifically was the jump the shark moment for this show. It was already going downhill, but goddamn, that killed it. Like, overnight.
I missed it.
It's been brutal. I am watching yesterday's episode because it was the mid-season finale, and it is going to have to be fucking brilliant setup for the second half of this season for me to continue, because I'm about to go from last year, Flash being one of my top 3 shows within a year and a half, quitting the show, which is a fucking accomplishment in its own right. But yeah, like I said, I could write a fucking college thesis paper on the Flash right now, but I'm just going to save my blood vessels and move on.
And I just want to say one thing before we move on from this topic. I wasted part of my life on Supergirl, but that was nothing against any of the stars of it. Like Melissa Benoist,
genius casting.
She's genius casting, and she was knocking it out of the park, especially in the crossover. Dude, Supergirl was trending on Twitter and Facebook since Monday, the entire week of the crossover. Like in the top, I want to say it was like in the top 4 on Monday and Tuesday, and then after that steadily started dropping, but it was always in like the top 10 trending on Twitter.
She has never worked with everyone like a lot of the other actors have.
And her chemistry was just as good with everyone as everybody else's was meshed.
Totally.
And the guy that was playing Martian Manhunter in the episode that I saw, which was Medusa,
he's awesome, dude.
He was awesome. I wish I had seen more of him. But I got to tell you, my brain exploded when he mentioned the White Martians.
See, that's the thing. The reason I like Supergirl so much is especially like their deep cuts they use.
That is some fucking deep cuts. The White Martians?
Yeah, the White Martians. I don't know if you know this.
There are people that watch the cartoons and probably even read Manhunter comics that don't even know who the hell the White Martians are. The
guy in the show, the romantic interest right now is Mon-El. He's a deep cut.
Mm-hmm.
He got his White Martian stuff from Miss Martian. Miss Martian's in the show.
Really?
Like, Supergirl is just like deep cut all the fucking time. Season 1, a few of the episodes were adapted Superman arcs that had been adapted. Like, with Justice League Unlimited.
I saw one of the episodes coming up as Supergirl Lives.
Yeah, that's a callback to the Kevin Smith script, which was it was a really cool callback because he's actually directing it when it comes back. But yeah, like one Superman comic arc, for the Man Who Has Everything was adapted into a Justice League Unlimited episode, and then they adapted that into a Supergirl version of it. Very, very cool stuff like they're doing with Supergirl. And with her quote unquote part of the crossover, like it wasn't a bad episode. It was poorly marketed. It just shouldn't have been talked about as part of the crossover when it really wasn't.
It wasn't nearly as bad as the Supergirl Flash team up.
Yeah.
But
the Supergirl Flash episode of season 1 is the worst episode of season 1, probably.
You know how you want me to make you a greatest hits list of Torchwood? That's what you're going to have to do for me for Supergirl. Me to watch it, because it was still kind of painful for me to sit through, to be honest. I will give them this, though. In the Supergirl show, and especially in the crossover, the special effects on her is fan-fucking-tastic. I get that it's probably not like Man of Steel level graphics, but that's still B-movie graphics, which is still pretty amazing for the CW budget.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. They do a great job. And part of the reason you don't get to see very much Martian Manhunter, he's really cool when he's on air,
expensive.
But they just physically can't do it because of the budget.
Yeah.
But when
if that show keeps being successful, because it seems to be fairly successful, it will keep getting an increase in budget, and you will probably see more Martian Manhunter. And you let me know when that happens.
two of the episodes that will be on the must watch kind of highlight lists are the 2 Superman episodes. And I actually put it in our next note. I have to go on here and say how fucking dead wrong I was.
Wow.
Now I'm gonna call them out a little bit as far as the marketing, because the image they put out where he looked like he had just gotten back from a Vegas bender was an awful image. But when you get into the 2 episodes that started off this season, the 2 Superman episodes of Supergirl, 2 of the best episodes they've ever done on any of the CW/DC shows. They're fucking great. Like I was telling you, while Flash is fucking up Flashpoint, Supergirl had Superman teamed up with Martian Manhunter fighting fucking Metallo. That was a thing that happened on Supergirl. Well, imagine that. Flash is the 5th fastest guy in his own fucking TV show. That's what was happening over there.
You just reminded me of the Honest trailer for Flash. And they made some reference to him saying he's the fastest man alive, and they're like, really?
Yeah. But the thing... once you get into the show and you see their Superman, it's really, really cool because the Clark Kent portions are very Christopher Reeve, but the action, using some of that same special effects magic they're doing with, making Supergirl look better than it should on that budget. The Superman stuff was like 3/4 Man of Steel. So you got like Christopher Reeve style stuff plus Man of Steel style action. It was a very cool combination. And I would actually I would be totally on board for another spinoff of Superman with that guy. I really, really like their adaptation of it.
God bless the world we live in right now, dude.
It's only a matter of time before they have a 5th show. It just depends on which one they want to pick.
We live in a world where we can argue and debate over a CW superhero lineup
of what should make it in.
Of what should make it in and what is wrong with them, when even just 10 years ago, if you had told me that even just Supergirl, or especially The Flash, was going to have their own show again on CW, I'm not sure I would have believed you.
Yeah, but just to kind of circle back around, The Flash is the worst of the shows now, which is fucking phenomenal. Like, I just don't even know how that happened. It makes me sad. Yeah. It's not something that it's not one of those things where I wish that we could get out of the situation, because
for the record, for anyone listening, Geoff is wearing a Flash t-shirt right now as he's saying this. I'm not even joking.
It just makes me sad, man. This makes me sad.
Also, for the record, I'm wearing Courage the Cowardly Dog.
And I love you for it. But yeah, we have one more bit of TV news while we were gone. We've already made a whole fucking podcast on like 5 topics because we're so... Like, there was some good shit that happened when we were gone. Seriously, the first week we went on break, it was like bam, 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 fucking bam. And before we went on break, there wasn't jack shit for like a month. I knew that was going to happen.
You were right. It happened.
Forgive us if we run long on this one. But next up, fucking Young Justice, man, is coming back for season 3. You have got to start this show. It is so good.
I'm almost done with Justice League Unlimited because I never really got through Justice League Unlimited back in the day. So I'm almost through with it. That's my next one I'm going to get through. I'm neutral on this because I don't have any exposure to Young Justice. You're excited for it. Phil's not even cautiously optimistic, it sounds like to me.
I think part of it is just because he really, really liked the show too. Part of it is just sometimes you do get concerned because when things get canceled and then they get brought back later, most of the time it doesn't turn out well. Arrested Development, when it came back to Netflix, was terrible. I'm sure other things that are not coming to mind have been bad for coming back from break too.
He came over during the break, and we talked about this because I knew you were excited about it. I think the news had just broke about it, actually. And he was telling me that like he's not really all that excited for it, and his feelings may have changed since then. That's been a little bit.
Did he say why?
But he said that he's not really that excited for it because it's never as good. Everything usually sucks when they go on break for that long, and then they revive them. Part
of it, though, that can give it some hope is if you go into Netflix right now, one of the top things is recommending you to watch is Young Justice.
Always.
A big reason this is even happening is because of its Netflix numbers. So I would imagine when it comes back original, it's going to be original on Netflix. the worst original thing on Netflix is like a 7.5 out of 10. It seems like they just crush on pretty much everything. Voltron, their cartoon is really, really good. It's a Netflix original, so I think it probably will be good. I don't know if it's going to be as good as it was, but if it's half as good as it was, it's worth watching because it was a damn good cartoon. They have Bruce Greenwood is Batman.
Yes, is he coming back as Batman? Do we know?
I would imagine he would be. Because
I really like him as Batman.
He's one of my favorite Batmans, and I wish they would have him do more stuff with it. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to coming back. I hope it's good. If it's half as good, it'll be worth watching. So keep an eye out for that. We have a couple of gaming things to get through real quick. We're really quickly going to talk about our general thoughts on the Nintendo Switch. That was the official title of the NX. That was the this was actually one of the things that happened like right after we went on break. This kind of came out of nowhere.
Once again, the working project title is much better than the actual console's name.
That's basically been the case with, I want to say, every gaming thing the past 5 years. It seems like all the PS, what was it the Morpheus? Is that the name of the VR?
Yes,
Morpheus is a billion times cooler than
the Wii.
PSVR.
Was the revolution. I would have taken that over Wii.
Yeah,
I forget what the Wii U was, but
we suck.
We suck. Yeah, it was something else, but. I need you to walk me through this one because I keep forgetting this is a thing and I still have not looked up what it is. I only found out that this happened through memes on the internet, and eventually when I saw enough of them, I had to text message you and say, what the fuck is this?
Okay, basically what the Switch is it's kind of like what you and I kind of predicted for back a few months ago. What it is it's basically, like we were saying, it is a handheld unit that you can port and make it run on your TV. It's supposed to be in full specs. I believe even a little bit better than the PS4 and the Xbox One basic models before they started doing the Slims and all the shit right now and like the Pro.
Mm-hmm.
But what it is if you watch like the trailer for it, it's like the dude actually just walks up to his Switch. They have like these two little pop-on things that go on like this. I know the people listening are going to be able to tell, but it's like two things that are actually going to pop onto the sides of the screen, and that becomes your interface to take it on the go.
Okay.
The thing is, if it works like it's, and I'll probably find the trailer for it for you to check out. I assume you'd already seen it. That's why I didn't share it to you before. I should have asked about it, but I'll show it to you later. If it works as advertised, it's fucking brilliant. The problem is, a lot of Nintendo stuff doesn't actually work as they advertise, especially mobile stuff at first. Like
usually to their own fault. Like it's because of them. Because like the Wii and the Wii U did have a lot of potential, but not only did the Wii U's naming scheme help it fail, but it ended up, all the potential that it had and all the technology it had in it and the accelerometers and everything ended up just being stupid little puzzle game gimmicks that you get old real quick because of the repetition in a game, and that was all they ever did with them.
Where it actually shows, like, I think they're learning from that experience a little bit, is actually in the trailer. The game they're showing off as being used when it's mobile is Skyrim. It's an actual game. It's not one of their little gimmicky first-party things. It's an actual game people have been asking for mobile. The reason this is important for you and I, because it's rumored FromSoft is considering doing a trilogy re-release of Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 for the Switch. And if you can tell me I can even get one of those mobile, I will give them $300 for their console.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Just think, Ron... Dark Souls all the time.
With
Dark Souls at work. Dude, I don't have to work anymore, Ron.
The only concern that I would have with that is, did you ever have a Sega Game Gear?
No.
Did you ever know anybody that did?
No.
Yes, you do, you lying bastard, because I had one.
Okay. I don't fucking know you.
We met in chat roulette, you sick fuck. No, okay, so the thing that I think of, you tell me that it's got basically more or less the power of a PS4 and it's mobile. I think of Sega Game Gear because that thing was notorious for one thing and one thing only. It took 6 AA batteries and they lasted like 30 minutes.
That's the thing. That's one of the things that they haven't really talked about yet is its battery life and shit like that.
Because I mean, the Game Gear was because it had literally a color television in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And because like Game Boy just had the little LCD screens, they didn't even have color, and that's how they did it. But this one, if you're going to have that kind of processing power and you're going to have that kind of graphics capability, those two things are power hogs in any system.
Now, part of what can help it, though, is they don't have to, at least when it's running mobile, it doesn't have to run up to the full hardware specifications because obviously they don't have to worry about the pixel density of a 60-inch plasma.
Right.
So, like, that can help it when it's mobile. It all depends on their level of programming going into it. I want to wait and see. This is definitely not going to be... Even if they announce Dark Souls, I'm not going to buy this sight unseen. I'm going to have to hear reviews about, like, stuff like you pointed out, the battery life, because I'm not a big Nintendo first-party fan.
Yeah.
Really, the only games I ever actually play of theirs... I think the last one I actually played was Zelda: Link Between Worlds, which is 3 or 4 years ago, so I'm kind of out of the loop. But I liked what I saw from the trailer. It just all depends on actually if what they're selling is what they were selling in the trailer, and if it works as well as they were talking about it. But yeah, if you give me mobile Dark Souls, I don't care. I will give them $300.
The only other thing is also if the things that plug into it that give you your interface on the sides, do they actually plug in, or are they Bluetooth, or do we know?
They were physical attachments that go into the sides of the device.
They plugged into a port?
Basically, you know, have you ever seen the Wii U pad?
Yeah.
You know how they have...
I've seen what it looks like because I've seen memes where people literally took the Wii U pad, cut it in half, and shoved their phone in the middle of it and said they have a Switch now. But the reason I bring it up is if it plugs into ports that are on the sides of the thing, then I'm on board with that. But 9 times out of 10, with the exception of the PlayStation, it seems like, anything that is like a Bluetooth-based controller seems to have just enough of a delay to piss you off from when you push a button. Imagine Dark Souls with a fraction of a second delay.
You can't play it.
It's unplayable.
Now, one cool thing, too, the things that plug into the sides, they're individual units that can be removed and handed to 2 different people where you can actually play co-op on on mobile.
That's cool.
Pretty neat. I'll show you on the trailer. It's pretty cool, though. I just want to wait and see. Something that will be bought sight unseen, at least by Geoff. A little thing called Red Dead Redemption 2.
We all knew it was going to happen eventually, but it took them so long that I was surprised that it was announced, to be honest. I got so used to waiting for it.
I like Grand Theft Auto, but I love Red Dead, so I'm really happy the next one in the cycle is going to be Red Dead 2. The problem is they said it's coming fall of 2017. That's not going to happen. The last thing that actually I can't even remember the last thing that actually shipped on time in the gaming industry. So when they say fall 2017, I'm expecting summer 2018 at the earliest, honestly.
Right. I was going to say first, second quarter of 2018 is what I would expect, yeah.
But the thing with Rockstar is they are the opposite of Ubisoft, and like how they actually, let you get hyped, and they put a lot of time and effort into each sequel. They don't throw them out every year. So when Red Dead 2 actually does come out, it'll be worth the fucking wait because Rockstar don't fuck around.
Yeah.
They spend 5-6 years developing a game, and when it comes out, you can tell.
Yeah, no, their games and their systems inside the games are usually pretty complex and pretty impressive. So, I just hope that it was worth the wait. Because when did the first Red Dead come out?
2011.
So 6 years.
Yeah, I always say it's arguably my favorite game of all time.
Wow.
So
Wow.
If it's half as good as the first one, I will be on board with it. Yeah, that's pretty much everything we had during the break. Ron, would you like to just throw this all on at the end of this, or do you want to just do a separate current podcast? I figured I'd throw it up to you.
I'm fine either way. I feel like the stuff that was actually from this week we can get through pretty quick if you just wanted to continue.
Okay, let's go ahead and continue. Let's start off. We'll mix it up a little bit. We'll start off with gaming because the other game that is arguably my favorite game of all time is The Last of Us, and we got its sequel confirmation. Holy shit, was that trailer good, dude?
It was a pretty awesome trailer.
Naughty Dog does trailers better than just the gaming industry as a whole does trailers better than the movie industry, but Naughty Dog specifically, because you remember too, at that stage when they were talking about Uncharted 4, you had never played any of the games, right? And even you were excited for it just because their trailers were that good.
Oh yeah. And even their gameplay trailer was that good. It was like the first 20 minutes of the game.
It's like, what's fucking shameful is like this Last of Us 2 trailer. It's a game. And it's more atmospheric of a trailer than most movie trailers are.
Oh, easily.
It's crazy how good it was.
Everything about that trailer was done very well, and in a Last of Us kind of way, it was gorgeous, you know?
In that real grungy...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that post-apocalyptic, you know, zombie world kind of way. It was a gorgeous, gorgeous trailer, and the graphics in it and everything.
Let's see. Uncharted 4 came out earlier this year, so I don't think if this comes out in 2017, it would be like December. I think it's probably going to end up being 2018 as well. Mm-hmm. So that means with Dark Souls over and Red Dead and this coming out in 2018, I don't have a goddamn single thing to play next year because there's no Batman either.
Yeah.
Like all of my favorite games ended this year, it seems like.
I forget who did Arkham Origins, but where the fuck are they? I need another Arkham game.
Warner Brothers Montreal. They are talked about being like behind the scenes working on a Batman thing, but who knows? Was Arkham Knight this year too? Or was that last year? Was that this year? No, it had to be last year, right?
Was it around Christmas last year? Is that why it feels like this year?
I need to consult the internet mobile device that is my phone that has all the answers. Let's see. Arkham Knight. This is gripping radio as always.
This is why we went so long.
Arkham Knight 2015.
2015.
So it was it summer?
I don't know. I'm trying to scroll on Wikipedia. It won't fucking let me. Here we go.
Fuck you. I don't want to donate Wikipedia.
June.
Go fuck yourself.
It was June, and I remember that now because you bought your PlayStation 4 a year in advance.
Oh, yeah. Fuck them for that. Fuck them very much.
You bought it specifically for that, and then it got delayed a year. I remember that.
No, that was my own goddamn fault for expecting anything to fucking release on time. Those bastards. But yeah, Last of Us 2, if it's half as good as that trailer, like I need a moment. Like how long is it they say before to go talk to the doctor on those commercials? Is it 4 hours?
4 hours, yeah.
Okay. Let's see. We're going to transition from gaming to movies.
Now let me tell you, Geoff, why I need to see a doctor.
Okay.
I was minding my own goddamn business, you son of a bitch. And I was happy. I was happy. I knew this trailer was out there. And I was like, you know what? I don't need that kind of strife in my life. I'm happy. And then I get a text from you that basically more or less said, yeah, so I watched their Transformers 5 trailer, that last night trailer, and that looks like Unicron to me. And I was like, no. God damn it, no.
So you had to see it just because I said that?
Huh?
So you saw it just because I said Unicron?
I specifically I closed Netflix on my PlayStation, went straight to YouTube, fantastic. And watched it, and immediately wept.
As your childhood got put on the pinball machine?
Yes.
By courtesy of Michael fucking... How is Michael based on making these goddamn Forsaken movies?
I don't understand. And then we've got It's a Transformer coming back. And I don't know how these are still a thing. So
here's the thing, too. The trailer opens up with like 45 seconds of clips of like King Arthur's court stuff, of World War II Nazi
I expected to see Wolverine like running through the screen as it goes through different time periods.
It's like they just fucked up the editing room and put in stuff from... I don't understand. Like, so, what is it even from?
I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I don't see the point in Anthony Hopkins except to have him narrate. And
well, the reason Anthony Hopkins is in there is because Anthony Hopkins got paid a shit ton of money to be on set for a day.
Dude, we've got Optimus Prime floating dead again through space past Jupiter.
How many times has Optimus Prime died at this point in these movies?
And then at the end of the trailer, he's killing Bumblebee. And I just... Fuck you, Michael Bay.
Well, what's fucked up is he's been saying he's gonna, like, this is the last one. This is the last one. He said that for the third one.
Yeah.
And he fucking came back. And he said, this is the last one. And he fucking came back again. It's like, dude, go away. Go away.
I don't even...
Give this to Del Toro. Give it to the guy who did the fucking Kong Skull Island thing.
Oh my god.
Like, somebody, anybody, fucking save this poor franchise from Michael Bay.
And
it just makes me sad. And dude, I'm upset. I don't even like Transformers.
Dude, I read an article that said basically that we all love Transformers because of robots punching each other, and I'm like, first off, that doesn't even really happen in the movies that much. Second off, it's like, you totally don't give a shit about Transformers if that's why you're going to see these movies. I don't know.
Well, here's my thing. I actually did go to watch the movies just for the action. You can't fucking enjoy the action because it's a giant-ass CGI blur.
Yeah,
in the second movie, when they have their big climactic battle at the end of it, where they have, like, like the hordes of robots versus robots, like you're talking about, you can't tell who to root for because everything is a blur of grinding gears, and you have no emotional investment in anything because the only Transformers you can tell, apart from the rest of the group,
are the ones standing
Optimus
still
and Bumblebee. Those are the only two, and that's because they are the only ones who are bright colors.
And they picked all the fan favorites to star in it, of course, but they fucked up every one of their personalities. I can understand changing their designs. I get that. Their designs change with every series that come out. But the one thing that is consistent usually is most of their personality stays intact. So Ironhide being the rogue gunslinger and Optimus Prime straight up executing a motherfucker, shooting him between the eyes, like when he's already down and defeated. Like, just shit like that. Jazz, yes, was based on the black guy that white people in the 80s thought all black guys were like. But it was taken to racist extremes in the first movie.
And then he was the one robot to die.
And he was the one Autobot that died.
Bumblebee got ripped in half, and they were able to help him, and Jazz got shot like one time, like he's fucking dead.
Jazz got ripped in half by Megatron, and then Bumblebee gets ripped in half, and Bumblebee fucking lives.
Bumblebee's fine. Bumblebee is still fighting while ripped in half, but Jazz is just like, eh.
He's like on the back of a truck shooting shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know.
I don't get it.
I just... what sucks too is like they have like all those really good writers in that mysterious writing room for the series they keep talking about. But what do we get is Michael Bay movie after Michael Bay movie. So I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we need to move on. The next trailer, The Mummy, the reboot starring Russell Crowe and Tom Cruise. I'll let you go first on this because you have more to speak about this than I do.
I was gonna say you and I are on different wavelengths on this one. So, the teaser trailer and all the images that came out of it were fucking fantastic.
Now, what was the teaser trailer? I forget what the teaser trailer was.
The teaser trailer showed you a little bit of Tom Cruise running for his fucking life, showed you the mummy's like face like Peter Capaldi, Doctor Who style, just like the eyes, basically. And
it showed the coffin thing, the sarcophagus, right?
They showed the sarcophagus, and then you got a glimpse of Russell Crowe, just real fast. And
that's all I need.
It was even so fast that you texted me. It was like, was that Russell Crowe? Like, it was that fast that you needed confirmation.
Gladiators in this shit?
Yeah. So, the full trailer released. And
so at that point, we were both on board together with the teaser.
We were both on board. And then when the full trailer released, I found out that it was Mission Impossible Mummy. That it was M.I. Mummy. And
Mummy Impossible?
Huh? Mummy Impossible. Mummy Impossible Edge of Tomorrow, because that's all I see in that trailer. And I know, and I get why you think this, and I know that you said this and probably still believe this. You said that it's because it's Tom Cruise that I said that. I don't care who you put in there. You put all of my favorite actors in this movie, take out all the ones that I don't like, in all the same situations and all the same scenes, it looks like a Mission Impossible trailer.
Now, here's the thing. This doesn't necessarily mean the entire movie is this way. It could just be this one sequence because the basically the whole trailer is this one sequence. But I totally get your complaint because what you wanted from this movie was the Brendan Fraser style of movie. You wanted an adventure action film that's kind of Indiana Jones roguish. You know, we're out in the middle of Egypt. And what it is it's closer to being World War Z than it is.
And I could even get behind that, but the tone of the movie and the high octane action, which usually isn't a bad thing, usually not something I complain about. That's usually something that you don't like. I'm like, but Geoff, the high octane action. But this was not a property. I had such hope for this, with the exception of Tom Cruise, just because I liked everything that I heard and saw about it, and that teaser trailer came out, and it was just, it was amazing. I liked the girl as the mummy. I really like her.
She's really. Did you watch Star Trek Beyond yet?
I have not. I was shocked to find out she's in it.
She's awesome in that too, and she's a completely different person.
Does she? Are her legs swords, Geoff?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
But yes, I don't know. It may still be a good movie. It may still be at least fun to watch, but I don't think I'm going to have...
It's not what you wanted.
It's not what I wanted, not what I asked for, and I'm probably still going to love the Stephen Sommers, Brendan Fraser one better.
See, that is exactly why I don't have an issue with making it this way, because we have a trilogy of Brendan Fraser movies that were like Indiana Jones.
Most people would argue that there's only two.
I still haven't seen the third one.
Yeah.
I still need to... It wasn't that I saw it and hated it, I just haven't seen it.
And again, most people would tell you that there's only two.
There's only two. So we have those three movies. We have a metric fuck ton of mummy movies that were done in the old style, where I don't have an issue with them changing the formula. And now you have a totally legit complaint with this. The thing is, with me, I'm not invested in it. I don't really care either way. If this sucks, I will not be brokenhearted. Honestly, I don't even know if it'll be good. I just don't have an issue with the change.
The Stephen Sommers Mummy movie kind of blew me away when I was younger. I don't know what year it came out.
99, I'm pretty sure.
99. So I was 14 when it came out, and
I was 8.
It kind of blew me away because it was the fucking Mummy, dude. I mean, really? I had no investment in that. So I went into the theater with my dad, just like, the fuck are we doing here? And that movie was
it's a great fucking
amazing.
movie.
It is a great movie. So I think that's part of the reason why I have such an attachment to that one. And then this one, I'm fine with you changing the formula. You know me, I can usually disconnect shit like that and remakes and all that. But it's not the change I expected or wanted.
Is it because of the degree to which it's different?
I think it's the style in which it's different, because we can't have a Tom Cruise movie without it being Mission Impossible and him not being able to fly in a plane. Yeah, it's one of those weird things too. Okay, part of the other thing we haven't talked about with this movie is they're specifically making this, and they're having Russell Crowe as Dr. Jekyll in this because they're making a universe, because that's what everyone's doing right now. This type of action movie... The Universal Monsters.
This type of action movie could be what they want to make out of everything. They could make... they're talking about Frankenstein.
Yeah, but if you do that, you're talking about burning out your audience really quick. So the Mummy...
Let's be honest. They don't give a shit if you're burned out. They give a shit if you already paid to sit in the theater and watch it.
Right.
And if you look at this trailer, the trailer is actually majority liked on YouTube. It's being received fairly well.
Is it?
So what they're thinking with this is maybe this type of action movie is more widely accessible than the Indiana Jones style of Brendan Fraser ones, because the Brendan Fraser movies had 3 movies, but they weren't these like juggernauts box office wise. I think that is exactly why Tom Cruise is in this, because they are staking this shared universe on making it widely accessible, picking Russell Crowe and Tom Cruise, making it this big juggernaut of a franchise.
Is Tom Cruise really a draw anymore?
Huh?
Is Tom Cruise really a draw anymore?
Tom Cruise is still a big draw for Hollywood.
Is he really?
Yeah.
God.
Most people like Tom Cruise. Most people are like me. Personally, he's a fucking nutcase. And I wouldn't want to have a beer with the guy, but I don't have an issue with Tom Cruise as an actor. I actually like a lot of... I mean, I liked... I'm in a different camp. I actually like the new Mission Impossible movies much more than Fast and the Furious. I like the Mission Impossible movies. I haven't seen the second one, but the first Jack Reacher wasn't bad. Tom Cruise he's a bigger draw than you think he is, because have you looked at the box office returns on those Mission Impossible movies?
No, it's just, to me, I figured by now he'd be just kind of washed up.
No, like Edge of Tomorrow actually made pretty good money. You would like Edge of Tomorrow if you would just sit and watch it.
I don't like Tom Cruise movies.
It doesn't matter them. Because Tom Cruise being in Jackass is part of the plot of Edge of Tomorrow.
All that I can see when I look at him is when Ben Stiller played him on Saturday Night Live Celebrity Jeopardy. That's all I can see.
Yeah, I mean,
that's all I ever saw before that. It's not like SNL ruined my viewpoint of Tom Cruise. That's the way I've always saw him. That's why I connected with that skit so much.
I'm just telling you, there's a reason why Mission Impossible has 5 movies. Like, they make bank a lot more than you think they would. But
that's disappointing to hear.
You have totally legit complaints with it. The biggest difference is I have no attachment to the Mummy. I have an attachment to the Brendan Fraser Mummy, at least the first 2. I like those movies, but we're not talking like Star Wars or Indiana Jones for me or anything like that. It's not one of those things where if this sucks, I won't really care.
I'm probably still going to see it. I don't know if I'm going to make it out to theaters, unfortunately, just with how busy my life is all of a sudden. But I'll probably still end up watching it, mostly out of curiosity, and I do like a lot of the things that I saw in the trailer. But I said it still. If you took out the Mummy herself, the scenes that had her in it, showed me the rest of it, even if it didn't have Tom Cruise in it, I would tell you I thought that was the next Mission Impossible movie.
Yeah, I get it. You're not wrong.
It's.
I mean, we'll have to see. Really quickly though, Russell Crowe as Dr. Jekyll. That makes it almost worth watching by itself. That's fucking awesome.
You realize that means when he goes Mr. Hyde, he's basically the Hulk.
I just purchased 2 tickets, so thanks for that. Now, this next one we can both agree on.
Oh my god.
Is just magical.
Oh
if you haven't seen the second Guardians of the Galaxy 2 trailer, it's so good.
Oh my god. I did not.
It just... You want to know how I can describe the second trailer to that? It just makes me happy. It makes me happy to be alive, and it's the only thing this whole fucking year that has managed to do that.
It makes me happy, it makes me laugh, it makes me cry, mostly laugh. It's almost a movie on its own, to be honest.
It's like a little short film.
Yeah, basically.
It's a little awesome little sci-fi short film with Rocket Raccoon and Baby Groot. How awesome is Baby Groot?
Oh my god, dude. I don't want to say anything for people that are avoiding the trailer. To be honest, though, I don't think you're going to be able to avoid the trailer because it's going to be on Rogue One. Let's just be honest.
And the whole world is going to see Rogue One at least one time.
Yes, so you're going to watch it. I'll just say this about the trailer: they get their audience. They get their audience, and they know exactly what you want to see. And this trailer was just as telling as the Telltale Guardians of the Galaxy trailer, because that trailer also told me that they got their audience, so it's I've never cared so much about an obscure comic book property that no one's ever heard of in my life.
Yep. I was actually holding out from watching it, but then you mentioned it's gonna be on Star Wars. I was like, fuck it, so I watched it and
watch you go to watch Rogue One and it's the first trailer that you'd already seen.
Probably. Or it's not on there and I could have gotten away with
the thing that did disappoint me about that trailer is they have an entire scene out of the movie in there that I feel like is probably going to be one of the funniest, most favorite scene of the movie
that you've already seen.
That now I've already seen 1,000 times because I've watched that trailer over and over.
But the thing is, with the first Guardians, if you took out the 2 funniest scenes from Guardians, which I couldn't even tell you specifically because there were so many.
Yeah.
So it's not going to ruin the experience.
It's a fun film to watch over and over and over again. So I'm probably going to be fine with it. But
I think it might not be as good as the first one was, but I think it will be totally worth your fucking money.
Here's the way it looked to me, and let's see if you agree with this. The first one looked like it took itself... I don't want to say it took itself seriously, but it kind of took itself semi-seriously. Like, they knew what they were doing. They knew what they had. They knew what their script was. But it was still kind of serious in tone, but it had a lot of comedy throughout it. Like the overall story was fairly kind of serious. This one just looks like it's just straight up like
fuck it.
Yeah,
fuck
just
it.
straight up fuck it. And I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm cool with that too. If anyone has tape. Yeah, we've seen the trailer. It's a fucking trailer. We're quoting it already. We haven't seen the movie. That just kind of tells you everything you need to know.
I laughed to the point of tears watching that trailer.
My favorite part actually wasn't that. My favorite part was the Drax stuff at the end. I was dying.
See, my favorite stuff in that trailer was the Groot rocket stuff.
My favorite stuff was the Drax thing at the very end, where he's like, "Do me next."
Damn you, spaceships!
It's so fucking good. Yeah. Dude, I think Guardians is in May.
Sounds right.
I think it's in May because I think it's Guardians and then Spidey in like June or July and then Thor in November.
I wouldn't want to ruin our streak of being horribly inaccurate on things, but
pretty sure I'm right. Let's see, Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Blah 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 blah. May 5th, 2017. Yeah. Dude, we are only 6 months away from more Guardians of the Galaxy. That makes me happy.
Give it to me now. Now, if you are trying to avoid major spoilers, you do not see Kurt Russell. You do not see Sly. You don't see... There's a lot that you don't see, but there is a really funny scene in the movie that they gave you the entire scene.
Yeah, and we don't even know the plot.
They don't even know the plot either.
At all. But
there is a lot of comedy, so there's a lot of jokes spoiled. But
the thing with this, though, I think with Doctor Strange, one of the Comic-Con trailers that I told you not to watch spoiled the Wi-Fi joke.
Oh, did it really?
That's more crucial to Doctor Strange than it is for Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is going to be fucking funny the whole time.
Yeah.
They spoiled the best joke of Doctor Strange, and I wish they hadn't done that.
Right.
With Guardians 2, I think you're fine. And that's coming from a person who was skeptical about having it spoiled for them. I think you're fine watching it. And the very last thing, speaking of wanting it now, within 24 hours at some point, we are getting a full Spidey Homecoming teaser trailer.
Probably as soon as this podcast goes up.
And right now, you can actually go and watch the teaser for the teaser, which is also awesome. And it's only like 20 seconds long.
Geoff, I have never once in my life cared for the web pits.
Oh, I do. And I do now.
And I may end up liking the web pits.
Because we live in a world where the web pits were built for Peter Parker by Tony fucking Stark, dude. Oh my god, I love it.
What a time to be a geek.
And they had Happy. They had Favreau in the trailer, the little teaser trailer. Teaser trailer, I guess
it was first-person Spider-Man for most of that teaser trailer.
And I want it. And oh my god, give me that. I can't even express to you. Do you think? Okay, here's the question. Do you think we get a glimpse of Keaton?
I think we might get him out of the costume.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to give away the costume in the first trailer.
All they have to do is show me Michael Keaton at all. How much? Was it 4 hours? Was that what they say in the commercials? 4 hours?
4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I'm going to be more like Randy Marsh, I think. Dude. Randy Marsh, when he got Wi-Fi. Yeah, that trailer... Dude, you realize that we live in a world where we might get a Batman Beyonded up Spider-Man suit, right? Because Tony Stark is making his suits. It may not be full-on like Spider-Man Unlimited, where it was like nano-robots and could do all that stuff, but it could end up being something Batman Beyond-ish.
Shit, dude, they had me already because his eyes move. That's all I needed.
Dude, when I told you that on the Civil War trailer... You watched that whole trailer that you were going to avoid specifically for that. That was amazing.
I remember texting out full caps, "You're shitting me."
You did. Yep.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, dude, you have to watch it now.
Now let's recap. In 2017, we are getting Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Spidey Homecoming, Thor 3, Iron Fist, Punisher, and the Defenders. Holy Jesus Christ. 2016, escort yourself off the fucking property. That's all I'm going to say. And we have one little bit of news before we end this. But let's be honest. We're like an hour and 15-ish minutes for 2 months of content. I thought we did a pretty good job.
That's pretty good.
We got one more last thing. One other little bit of Marvel that's not MCU related, but is also looking to be pretty fucking great is Legion on FX. We got a premiere date February 8th of next year is when you can be able to check it out. It's going to be... What's also cool about it, too, is I noticed 8 episodes. It's going to be a miniseries, which I am always on board with.
The one and only trailer that you and I have ever watched was pretty fucking intense for it and pretty cool. But yeah, 8 episodes is going to be like balls to the wall, I feel like. And it has to be.
I think it's going to be fantastic. This is one of those easily could see this end up being on one of, if not both of our top 5s next year. I just have a really good feeling about this show.
It at least season 1. When they get renewed for like 20-something episodes in a season.
Yeah. But yeah, while we're talking about that, be on the lookout. Ron and I are, we're not back to full schedule yet. We are planning to be doing Let's Plays again in January. Game of Thrones, we're going to fit in when we can. But we are, within the next week and a half or so, going to be putting out our top 5 list like we did last year for movies and TV. We would do gaming, but we play like Dark Souls. That's all we play. What's your number 1 game of the year, Ron?
I'd have to say Dark Souls.
And then mine, I'd say Dark Souls. And then my second favorite game of the year was the Dark Souls 3 DLC.
No, it would come down to Dark Souls bosses. Top 5 Dark Souls bosses would be our video game list of the year. Well, we could do a whole separate channel about that. We might have to do that now. And probably 3 of the 5 would be the same one and probably in the same order.
Probably. But yeah, be on the lookout for that. The top 5 lists are one of my favorite things to do. So I'm pretty excited for it.
Yeah, fuck you. That's work. That shit is work. It's like, I can actually say I understand what this feels like now. It's like doing a ranking list of your own children.
Yeah, Sophie's Choice, Ron's Choice.
Basically.
Yeah, it's like pulling teeth sometimes. I actually, oh my god, it's so awful. I have to rewatch Civil War and Deadpool this weekend because I need to figure out which one I like better.
God damn it.
Woe is Geoff. What an awful time to be alive. But yeah, thank you guys for checking us out. I'm Geoff.
I'm Ron.
And we will see you next week.